Well, hello there. I'm Nathan, Angry Baby with Awkward Conversations, and I'm joined by Brendan Evans, as he likes to be called, and Daniel from the Cracked.com team. Yay. We love Cracked. I think everybody loves Cracked.
Thank you.
How is it to be a part of like such a well-recognized website?
Super lucky. We're all very... I won't speak for these gentlemen. I'm not good at anything else. I can only be writing... Can I curse on your show?
Yeah.
I can only be writing dick jokes for the internet. I literally can't. These hands are useless. They're covered in ink. I'm just a disaster, so I'm very lucky that Cracked exists at the same time as me.
No female genitalia jokes?
No,
just
absolutely not. No.
Penis.
I stay in my wheelhouse. I know what I know.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha. And Evans, what about you? What's your favorite part of working at Cracked?
Having a roof over my head and food.
Having a roof over your
Yeah, I'm
head.
kind of in the same boat where if it was any other point in time in history, I'd be living in Skid Row.
Okay.
But this website exists and everyone likes it, so now I have a job. Yeah.
Wow. So would you say then, Brendan, it's really kind of given a voice to some of the, like, would you call yourselves hipsters? Like a little bit hipster comic? No. You're like, I'm definitely not a hipster.
I know what you're getting
I
at.
immediately said hipster, and he's like, screw that.
Well, I'm afraid to say that I'm not a hipster because I think that's a thing that hipsters say. So I'm trying to like do the reverse logic of what I'm allowed to say.
Right.
Okay, hipster is the wrong word, but like more like I don't know, like people who don't want to be like limelighting at the Comedy Store every other day, and it gives you guys an outlet, right?
Yeah, and we give people the opportunity to have a conversation about pop culture. We have like really deep thoughts and conversations about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Beauty and the Beast and everything. So really, any pop culture under the sun is just such a blast. We get to just deconstruct it and play with it and hear what our audience wants to say about it, and it's so much fun.
I think all the people who write for the site and all of the readers are the kind of people who spend a lot of time awake at night thinking way too much about movies and television shows and wondering, well, why didn't he do this? Yeah. And
I know for me, Crack.com is like my place, like where you're at that state where you're about to fall asleep, but you haven't quite fallen asleep and you need like one more laugh to tide you over for the night. How much of your audience do you think is at like 1 a.m.?
We met a lot of people here at this convention, and the split is about 50-50 with people who have said, hey, I really like your website. I don't get a lot of work done because I read it at work and you've ruined my productivity. And the other half are, hey, I like your website. I read it before I go to sleep every single night. So there's like a huge part of our group. It's interesting because if that's what you use Cracked for, that was my Frasier. I would watch Frasier every night, and I was like, this is really thoughtful, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm glad that tradition has gone on with Cracked.
That's awesome. You're the Frasier of the internet. I like that. I mean, I think one thing that's really unique kind of about Cracked is it's not just humor. I always feel like the articles are actually researched.
Yeah.
It's not just like you pull crap out of your ass, you know? I mean, it's like you really genuinely have interesting things to say about real life stuff.
Yeah.
How much research goes into an article?
A lot. I mean, it varies from person to person. I know my favorite writer on the site, David Wong, cannot write an article with less than 24 hours of work going into that, and that's research and writing, and not meaning a day, like 24 hours spread across however many days it takes them to do that. And there are people who will spend upwards of 40 hours because the editorial staff is very demanding. We don't want our credibility impugned, and we like people come to us because they expect to be able to be an interesting guy at a party by repeating something that they read on Cracked, and we don't want to make that guy look like an idiot. Someone's like, that's not true. Here's this other thing that refutes it. So, yeah.
That's really so. Now video must be a little bit different from writing at Cracked. What do you think are the main differences between getting to do what you do and doing what they do?
Video is fun because it's a collaborative effort in terms of being with all the people that are going to be the next generation in Hollywood. Like we have kids square out of USC Film School who are incredible talents, and they don't know that they should be getting paid a lot more money just yet, so we get to get them pretty early.
Funny jokes. They're getting paid the right amount of money. Everything's fine.
Slave labor is still legal, right?
Camera, it's the most adorable thing I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh, that is probably the most adorable thing we've ever seen.
Was she in there the whole time? I hope so.
Okay. No, I think that that's a good point. You said the most adorable thing. Now,
Yeah.
a lot of Cracked is lists.
Yes.
A lot is like the 5 things you never thought would come out of your toilet. So, how about like the 3 most awkward situations you ever had in your life?
So this happened today.
Today.
And it just like lived with me. I walked into the bathroom and a guy had brought his daughter into the bathroom because that happens if you have little kids. And the guy was not around, so I just walked in and there was a little girl just going like not even like, oh, I'm a little girl and I'm cute, laughing like a bully at all the guys in the bathroom. And I thought, that's probably the most awkward thing that'll happen to me in a bathroom. And then a guy who was a fan of Cracked walked past that girl and goes, Dan O'Brien, hi! And the girl laughing and a guy is touching me in a bathroom. And that happened today.
So it went from like here awkwardness to like here awkwardness.
Right, it's always, I hate when I brace myself like, that's the most awkward thing that's gonna happen. Now we can put the shields down and calm down, and then bam, there it comes out of nowhere.
Now all the clowns come out. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm with you. So what's your most awkward?
Oh, I was in theater on stage in front of hundreds of people and was singing a song from Les Miserables called Stars and completely forgot half of the entire song. So I started trying to recurse it in my head and the piano player's like, nope. And so she just stops playing and I stop singing and I just go, well, and then walk off the stage. So that was really good. I thought about that one for a long time.
Okay, all right. Musical theater, restrooms, I think the same thing. And Evans, most awkward situation.
I was doing some whitewater rafting down the Ganges in India, and the water pulled everything below my waist off. So I crawled up into the booth. We're going past this town. We're like sailing down the Ganges past this crowded city. And it's like a crowded Indian city, and I don't think they're so cool with like public nudity. And me crawling up in the boat, it's just, everybody sees everything.
I really hope you like pushed your feet through the bottom of the boat and just like,
Oh no, I did a straight up awkward like rolling myself over the side. There was a 360. There was a 360. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Absolutely. I learned this about him today.
You learned that he has been bare naked from the waist down in India.
I know.
That's what our show does for people.
Because I know that he's not allowed in India, and I didn't know why until now. So I finally got that.
All right. Well, hey, if people want to specifically read or see your work, how do they do that?
You can find all of us at crack.com. I also have a book coming out. You can find every information that you need about it. That's a sentence. At howtofightpresidents.com.
He's a writer.
Yeah. You like words like that in those orders, buy my book.
What's the book again?
How to Fight Presidents.
How to Fight Well, okay, now I have to, wait, we have to delay the end of this interview for a minute. Why do you want to fight presidents?
Well, I think they're very interesting and they're crazy. It's How to Fight Presidents, defending yourself against the badasses who ran this country.
Okay.
I found out very early on that I didn't have what it takes to be president because they're insane in a as yet undiagnosable sort of fashion.
Okay.
And so since I can't be one of them, I want to know how to like beat them in a fist fight if that ever comes up. Which honestly, I think that's more of a more noble goal than being president. Being able to destroy all of them is.
So if there was a presidential fight club, now first rule of Fight Club, there is no presidential fight club.
Absolutely not, no.
But if there was a presidential fight club, which president would win?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt, okay, why?
Because he is the strongest and the most commanding and the most powerful, and he is a guy who was in the throes of death growing up. Like his parents had him on his deathbed all the time. They're like, you're asthmatic, you're blind in one eye, you're falling apart, you're not gonna make it. You gotta like work on your mind because your body's not gonna do anything. And Teddy Roosevelt at 12 years old was like, I'll make my body do whatever I want it to do. And then he became like a boxer and like judo champion, and he walked around the White House with guns on his sides. And my favorite quote about him, someone said when he died, one of his best friends said, death had to take Teddy Roosevelt when he was asleep because he never would have handled it. Like, death couldn't handle Teddy Roosevelt awake, like, just suplex him back, yeah.
That's awesome. But wait, don't you think that there are several presidents who could have just sat on people and killed them with their sheer weight?
You're talking about Taft.
Well, Taft is a very good point,
Yeah.
but there were some other heavy presidents. I mean, Cleveland wasn't skinny.
Cleveland was a pretty big guy.
He was portly.
Was by far our fattest. Cleveland was our most walrusine president, I think.
All right. Well, hey, we have Daniel O'Brien and Evans, who I don't actually know your full name, but he will be forever called Evans, and Brendan Carter from Cracked.com. You can find more information about them on Cracked.com, and you can follow us at nerdreactor.com. Thanks.
Cyclone Rock, Phantom Kitten, The Singularity, Get Ready, initiating awkward conversation in 3, 2, 1.